Sales is tough. It involves rejection, failure, problems, uncertainty, and we're measured like very few other professionals are. And that's why a deliberate approach to building confidence and motivation is so important. How confident and motivated are you on a daily basis? Now, I want you to seriously consider that question. Give yourself a score from say 1 to 10 and be as honest as you can with yourself. And if, by the way, if you're a sales manager, take a little time out and rate the motivation levels of each salesperson in your team from 1 to 10. Now, this is very important. And if you're below 7, you're part of the sales majority and definitely not alone. You see, sales is tough. It involves rejection, failure, problems, uncertainty, and we're measured like very few other professionals are. The scoreboard is brutally clear on a moment-by-moment basis, and it constantly gets reset no matter how good last month or last quarter was. This is our reality and the environment that we work in. And that's why a deliberate approach to building confidence and motivation is so important. Now, this is a big area, but let me share a few of the big questions that will get you started on planning. First question to ask yourself is linked to the first conversation. Why am I committed to growing my sales? Now, as I mentioned very early in this series, you must link your personal goals to your sales goals if you want the motivation that it takes to break free of the bill paying and boss's budget cycle. Second question is really important as well. Why do I enjoy and feel passionate about helping the customers I help with the solutions I sell? See, try telling an Apple employee that they should buy a Samsung phone, and you're going to have a very serious debate and maybe even fight. Not every product or service that we sell is going to make a huge difference in people's lives, but the more you get in touch with and passionate about why you and your solution matter, the easier it's going to be to maintain consistently high levels of motivation. Now, a question that's aligned to this is, what do I enjoy and like about working with my customers and prospects that match my ideal target customer? The number one predictor of whether you will be supported and successful in your customer relationships is how much you like them and dealing with them. Another really interesting and valuable exercise is to reflect on what really motivates you as an individual. Now, generally, it's a combination of factors and needs, but understanding what really gets you going is important. So as a human, you're motivated by 6 things. 1, achieving a base level of certainty. 2, gaining freedom and choice. 3, feeling important. 4, feeling more connected. 5, achieving progress and a sense of advancement. And 6, contributing to the lives of others. Now, if your sales role is just about paying the bills, then your motivation is attached to achieving a base level of certainty. And don't be surprised if you're in the bill-paying boss's budget cycle if that's your only motivation. Now, we also need to consider confidence. Higher quantities and quality of sales action is correlated to higher levels of confidence in being able to execute on the plan that you've developed and the activities required to grow sales. As an example, if you've identified that asking for referrals is a key part of your strategy, but you don't feel confident in asking for referrals, then Houston, we have a problem. Now, once again, a huge subject, this confidence stuff, but let me offer 2 key questions here. The first is, who is making me feel more confident on a regular basis? As a starting point, most people should probably start with who in my life is destroying my confidence and make plans to spend a lot less time exposed to those people inside and outside of work. But we also need to consider which people we need to be spending more time with. Our confidence should be positively impacted by the peers that we spend most of our time with. And I challenge you to reflect on this and make changes if you're not surrounding yourself with peers and people that build your confidence. Rumi challenged us to spend more time with people that fan our flames. Great advice, and please make sure you're not spending time with people that are tipping buckets of water on the fire. Now, the other question I like to challenge people with in this area is, what are you doing to win the morning? Now, I've covered this in detail in other vlogs, but the big point is that if you're not deliberately priming your mind and your heart for success, motivation, and confidence each and every morning, there's a high probability that you're doing the opposite. As I mentioned, huge subject area, this confidence and motivation stuff, but these questions and reflection exercises will get you started. Your plan must be executed to succeed. and confidence and motivation are the fuel that's going to enable you to execute consistently across the year. Well, we're now 7 out of the 8 must-have kickoff conversations in, and we've covered a lot of ground. Just to sum all this up, the core question to consider for this conversation is, what can I do daily and monthly to maintain consistently high levels of motivation and confidence in executing my sales growth plan? In the next session, we'll finish this series off with a discussion relating to the key ingredient for execution excellence. And as I write this, I'm thinking about the run that I've got diarized for tomorrow and the fact that I have to report into my coach with data on how it goes. I can tell you now that it's going to be painful to do the run, and my brain is already looking for excuses. But it's going to be more painful to tell my coach that I didn't do it or that I did it poorly. Let's see what happens. That should give you a really big hint, by the way, on the final conversation in our 8 must-have kickoff conversation series. And remember, if you're doing a major kickoff and you need a little bit extra energy or help, reach out to us at Better Sales Coach. And please, making sales coaching easier is what we're all about. And if we can help with that, let us know.